say that was hilarious. I enjoyed that completely. All right. So if you're a small business owner, mom and pop type store, and you've always thought, gee, I have a particularly dicey problem and I wish I could get one of those fancy, smart consultants to help me figure it out, but I obviously can't afford it. So I'm a small shop. Well, this might be a startup that's just for you. HourlyNerd.com. HourlyNerd.com. It's an online marketplace that offers MBA students for hire from the top schools in the country, and the fees range from anywhere from $10 an hour to $75 or $100 an hour. And the startup is a brainchild of 3 Harvard Business School students. One is on the line with us right now, Patrick Petiti, co-founder at HourlyNerd.com. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having us on. Just to clarify, so the business actually started with 6 of us as a Harvard Business School class, and 3 of us decided to sort of run with it. So those are the 3 names that you've seen on our website and you may have read about.
Okay, so it started as a Harvard Business School class project, correct?
It did, yeah. And, everyone at Harvard Business School is required to launch their own business with 5 other students. So sort of 6 best friends got together, decided to start the business, and it sort of took off a little bit quicker than we had expected it to. So 3 of us decided to sort of pursue it beyond the scope of the class. Yep. And we've had some good early success.
All right, Patrick, are all the nerds that you offer from Harvard Business School?
They're not. They're actually all from the top 20 business schools across the country.
Okay. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I'll tell you that that's my alma mater. I graduated from Harvard Business School.
Oh, great. It's nice to talk to a fellow Harvard Business School.
And it's a great school. I went there. But I have to say that I still think it's a little bit of hubris to think that you guys with, maybe a couple years in the workplace but still in school are smarter than a small business owner with 15 or 20 years experience.
I would not say that we're smarter, that we're claiming to be smarter than anybody. I think what we have is some very specific skills that we're actually in the process of learning and practicing on a daily basis. Many of us came from sort of the big consulting firms that a bigger company might be able to hire. Mm-hmm. Many of us will go there. So, you're actually getting really the same quality of work that you would get from sort of a Bain or McKinsey or, a larger consulting firm.
But at cut rate prices?
Smaller fee. At cut rate price. We're talking literally like a tenth of the price.
Okay, so how do you decide which MBA that you rent out at HourlyNerd.com is worth $20 an hour and which one is worth $75 an hour?
Yeah, so we actually let the businesses decide. So the way that it works is the business will post a project to our website, mm-hmm. And then MBAs will bid to work on that project. So they'll put in how much they want to be paid per hour, how many hours they think it will take them. They upload their resume, and they write a little bit of a pitch just to tell the business owner, why they think they'd be good at it. And from there, we let the business owner decide. So, you might have a range of prices. You might have one MBA who says that they could do it for, $100 and another who says $500. Their experiences and skill sets will certainly be different. So depending on what you really need, you'll make your decision.
Okay, so the business owner can sort of decide the cost-benefit relationship here.
That's exactly it. And if it's the kind of task that, may not take a ton of skill, but the business owner just doesn't have time to do, then, they may go for the lower price. But if it's something where they really want to kind of nail it, they may be more apt to go for a more expensive MBA.
Okay. What kind of projects has HourlyNerd.com taken on? What are the nature of the projects?
Yeah, so we've sort of run the spectrum. We've had some people who just need help getting their website up, and they don't know what kind of process you go through to build a website, manage a developer, and all of that. We've had projects where people need to drive more traffic to their restaurant or to their bar, and so they want to think about how do we market ourselves differently. We also just had a project close where a business owner in Nicaragua needs to bring 5 MBAs to the country so that he can have them consult on his businesses and do some work with the Nicaraguan government. So it literally runs the full spectrum.
Oh wow! Have you had any success stories yet, or is it too new?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a few good projects. So we have somebody who just finished up a marketing project for a digital media company. Good success there. We haven't really had any, to tell you the truth, we haven't had any examples where people have been upset with the quality of work. That said, we are very much new, so we're sort of just in the phase where it's kind of pumping through.
How long has HourlyNerd.com been in existence?
Yes, we were launched the beginning of February.
Oh, okay, so only a few months.
Yeah, and we started off, with smaller businesses around, actually right around Harvard Business School. So, I'm sure you're familiar with the area. We walked around Central Square and Harvard Square, and tried to recruit businesses, and that was sort of where we saw the real need.
Okay.
We've had our official website up now for just a few weeks.
Now, could you help businesses? I'm on the area here regularly, and we hear from small business owners, and a lot of their complaints recently relate to things like how am I going to cope with Obamacare, or there's so many regulations in place that it's like a full-time job just to know that I'm adhering to the regulations. Is that something that HourlyNerd.com would have someone available to them to help with that?
Yeah, so you have people coming to business school from such a wide variety of backgrounds. We have, in my own section, we have several people who either already have law degrees or are pursuing a joint law degree as they get their MBA. And so those sort of people would be able to, understand sort of legal regulations. The beauty of it is that if you're not sure whether an MBA can do it, well, you can always post to the site. It's free to put up a project. It's only once you find somebody who you think can sort of meet your needs that you have to, pay. So,
and how many... Is there a typical amount or typical number of hours that these projects generally take?
Yeah, they can take anywhere. We've had people who just need sort of 1 hour of quick data analysis, but we've had people who need, 10 hours of looking at their financials, and then, the Nicaragua project is a full week. So it really can run the spectrum. It generally ends up around, 10 to 15 hours.
Okay. And how do you, or how does HourlyNerd.com make money?
So do
you take a cut?
Yep, so we charge a fee to the business, so there's a 10% fee to the business on top of the amount that they're paying the MBA, and then we take 5% from the MBA. So a little bit from both sides. Still nothing close to the margins that, a consulting firm would get, but enough to make it a business for us.
Okay. Now, are you planning to expand this business and keep it going after you graduate?
We are. We're currently figuring out who's going to work on it full-time over the summer. We're going to be going for trying to get some funding in the next month or so that we can run with it through the summer and hire somebody for full-time web development next year. We're excited to really pursue it.
And do you envision it always being people who are currently in school, or would you, if demand dictated, would you open it up to maybe more recent MBA graduates who haven't found their dream job and be able to sort of freelance for you at HourlyNerd.com?
Yeah, I think what you just said is exactly where we want to go. Right now, we're sort of focused on people who are currently MBAs because that's what we know. But we have heard a lot of interest from people who completed their MBAs but, didn't want to pursue something that was going to make them a ton of money and want to have a way that they can make a few extra bucks on the side. So absolutely, I think there's a need out there for that. Really, what's going to drive it is the amount of small businesses that need our service, and we do think that pretty soon we're going to need to open it up a little bit more.
Okay. And you, besides Harvard, you have MBA students from which schools available to you?
All of the top 20.
Name them. Name a few.
Kellogg, Stanford, Booth, Sloan. It's literally the full spectrum.
All right. But you're not offering any services from someone who got their MBA from the College of New Jersey yet, or Thunderbird or anything like that, right?
Right. So we may open it up a little bit more later on, but right now we're just focused on, again, it's kind of what do we know. We also know that we've also learned just from seeing how other businesses have tried to do this sort of service that businesses worry a lot about the quality of the work. And one way for us to at least begin to filter the quality of the work is to say only the top 20 MBA programs. Now, that's not at all to say that, people at the other MBA programs are not going to produce great work. But it is a way for us to at least right now start to control for quality. So these are people who went through really rigorous application processes to get into business school. And that sort of gives us, a really nice filter for quality.
Right. Okay. That's actually very exciting. What did you get on your class project when you started this? Did you get a good grade?
We haven't gotten the final grade yet. So hopefully our professor's listening right now.
All right. Well, it's HourlyNerd.com, and I think it's actually a great service. If you are a small business and you have a project or a problem that you haven't been able to wrap your arms around and you don't have the resources on your own, this is a way to employ someone that won't break the bank, but maybe brings a new skill set to your business that you wouldn't normally have. And it's a way to help a kid get through school, right?
That's exactly it.
All right. Patrick Petiti, thank you.